I did not think we would ever get any more Animal Crossing New Horizons news ever again. I did not think this would happen. If you have watched my Animal Crossing New Horizons 5 years later, then you know this. So you can only imagine my surprise when I woke up on just another Thursday, a random Thursday, 1 week ago today actually that I'm filming this, and I had almost 100 notifications on my phone. I normally wake up to maybe one notification from like my mom in the morning, and that's it. So this was a lot to wake up to, and I know this is so grim, but I genuinely thought that there was like a family emergency happening because I have never woken up to so much chaos. No family emergency though, just a New Horizons update. I have a ton of thoughts about this update. But I would say my overall general feeling is excitement. I am excited about it. I don't think that this update really caters to me, but I still want to talk about it, and I don't know, just kind of have a chat. This is probably the most casual video I will ever make. Normally I script out my videos and take a while to make them, but I'm not really doing that today, so I feel a little weird. But I do have like a loose script. It's 3 pages, and I also wrote notes. But I'm not really following a script, so bear with me if I ramble. All right, so let's get one thing straight here. This update has not been released yet. It doesn't come out until January. So this is just kind of just my first initial thoughts and my speculation. So the trailer, the Animal Crossing New Horizons news, it had 2 major announcements. One, a Switch 2 upgrade, and then also a free 3.0 update. So the Switch 2 upgrade, we'll start with that since it's like, you know, the whatever. It's $5. Are these upgrades worth the money? I don't know. I don't know. So there were a few things that the Switch 2 update is adding. One of them is the graphics are a little bit better. In the trailer, we get this big zoom in to see these enhanced graphics, but in my opinion, I actually think that Animal Crossing New Horizons already looks really great. I'm curious to see how much big of a difference this visual upgrade actually is going to be, and if we're actually going to be able to notice it during just everyday gameplay. The next thing that was mentioned was the megaphone, which is an item from Animal Crossing New Leaf that is coming back. That's because the Switch 2 has a microphone. In New Leaf, you could use the megaphone and be like, hey, Biscuit, are you around? And if Biscuit was around, you'd be able to, you know, find him a little bit easier. I liked it in New Leaf. I didn't use it a lot, if I'm being so honest. I barely used the megaphone, but I did like it for whenever I found lost items on the ground, which I feel like happened a lot in New Leaf.
Sly. There. Oh my god, I just said Sly. Sly. What? Is your name not Sly? Sly.
The most interesting feature that the Switch 2 upgrade is adding to me personally, the mouse features. I have yet to use the mouse features, but to be fair, this is a very new console. It literally just came out, so it makes sense, I guess, for me to have not used the mouse controls much. But I think that these mouse controls are going to be super just convenient when it comes to New Horizons. Specifically, it's going to help me with custom designs. At least I hope so. I have always found making designs pretty tedious in New Horizons and in all the Animal Crossing games, if I'm being honest. I have never really felt any pull towards making designs. And I have been meaning to do it in New Horizons for the longest time, because of one annoying reason. Back when I first started streaming on Twitch, I had this random first-time chatter come into my stream. This was like 5 years ago. Came into my stream, asked if he could visit my island, and then he proceeded to replace all of the custom designs in my Able Sister shop with his own designs, and then he just left. And I never changed them. They're still there, and I'm still mad about it. And so I feel like with this mouse feature, I can finally like take back Able Sisters. It is crazy that I've had those custom designs stuck in my shop all these years, but I've just been too lazy to redo them all. So maybe this mouse feature will finally kick me to redo those designs. The last noteworthy thing the Switch 2 upgrade is bringing to the game is the 12-player multiplayer. But again, this one doesn't really cater towards me as someone who just like never plays multiplayer Animal Crossing. I wish I did though. I wish I had friends to play Animal Crossing with, but none of my friends really play anymore. But I think that this feature is going to be great for a lot of friend groups, and you can also use the game chat feature, which is, I think, going to be really nice for kids and just younger audiences. That is the Switch 2 upgrade stuff. The more interesting thing to talk about is the 3.0 update. Real quick, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Heartopia, a charming, highly customizable life simulation game with a super cute and nostalgic art style that's perfect for cozy game enjoyers, available on mobile and PC. There are so many possibilities in Heartopia. Hang out with the residents in town or connect with online players from around the world. Design your dream house with fully customizable options and express who you are with over 1,000 daily outfits to choose from to create the perfect look for any occasion. In Heartopia, life is what you make it. The game has a plethora of hobbies like bird watching, gardening, and insect collecting, and with the Wildlife Encyclopedia, you can keep track of all the hobbies you pursue. There are plenty of birds to see, bugs to catch, and fish to reel in. Fish, cook, garden, or relax with friends. You choose what you want to do, and you can adopt an adorable little buddy in town to take on life in Heartopia alongside you. Let's gather in our cozy town, Heartopia. Click the link in the description to join the beta test. Thank you so much, Heartopia, for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to the 3.0 update, which is a free update. So that's really, really cool to see. And the biggest addition for this update is the resort hotel, which will be added to the end of our island's pier. We get to see all of Cappen's family again, just like we did with Tortimer Island and New Leaf. When I heard the little Tortimer Island song during the 3.0 trailer, I lost my mind just a tiny little bit. I'll be honest here though, this hotel just kind of seems pretty similar to the paid Happy Home Paradise DLC, but you know, I haven't played this update yet, so I can't really say that for sure, but just off of first impressions, that's the vibe I get. Your goal is to just decorate guest rooms in the hotel and, you know, give guests a place to stay on your island. And then the more, you know, rooms you decorate, you get to earn a currency within the hotel tickets, and then you could use those tickets to, you know, talk to Grams again, just like in New Leaf, and trade those tickets for rare items and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Very similar though to the Happy Home Paradise DLC. And amiibo cards can be scanned in to bring villagers to the resort hotel, which is neat. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything crazy yet because we haven't gotten the update and we haven't played the update yet. But all I'm going to say is, you know, with the 12-person player Switch 2 upgrade that we're getting, how incredible would it be to give us those New Leaf mini games again with this hotel? I think it's so crazy that New Horizons has such incredible, you know, multiplayer support, but we don't really have anything to do with that multiplayer support. I just think that the New Leaf Tortimer Island mini games were so fun and so endearing, and just when I think back on New Leaf, I reminisce on those mini games that I played with friends, and I just think it would be so awesome to see those again with the hotel. Something I somehow forgot to mention whenever I first recorded this video was the bulk crafting. Literally my first thought when I watched this update video was, wow, oh my god, finally bulk crafting. And I think it's so weird that they didn't even mention in the video bulk crafting, they just showed it. Bulk crafting, I think, is like one of the biggest complaints about New Horizons. It's like such a hot topic, and so for them to just kind of like passively show it rather than actively mention it was kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm happy it's finally here. I personally think it's about time, and this will be super helpful for so many people. I think it'll honestly help me finish the fishing stamp. I find crafting bait so tedious, so this will be nice for when I want to bulk craft bait. All right, so another upgrade to the 3.0 update is the item storage. So far, this 3.0 update is looking pretty similar to the New Leaf Welcome Amiibo update. You know, new area, new NPCs, more storage. We now get an upgrade of 9,000 items for storage, which is nice. And you can also store trees and like flowers in your storage, which is nice. That's going to be super helpful for the people who really like to decorate their islands. They also brought back my dog Rossetti with the Rossetti's reset service. You can basically use Rossetti to remove like furniture and flowers and stuff from an area. I don't know how I feel about Rossetti's job in this update. I would love to see his like little reset surveillance service back in the game, but I don't think that's gonna happen here. But yeah, I mean, I think that this reset service is gonna be super helpful to make decorating more convenient for, again, the decorators. But as you can see, as I'm going through this update does not really cater towards somebody who doesn't really care about the decorating in this game. All right, the next thing that the 3.0 update is adding is pretty huge. It's the Dream World and Slumber Islands. The new Dream World function will add 3 new islands that you can customize. You can choose the size of your island and you can choose what the layout looks like. It's basically like Minecraft creative mode. That was like the first thing I thought of when I was watching the trailer. So yeah, you get like free fresh new islands to do whatever you want with. So now if you are somebody who really, really enjoys decorating, you don't have to like completely tear down your main island and start over or rebuild your island in order to, you know, redo your island or like start a new island. You can just use the Dream Island function. Also, Puffin, can we please enough with that in the background? Leva is also scratching her head. So what are these vibes back here, y'all? But yeah, the Slumber Islands are pretty cool. It's all free to like doing these, decorating these islands, making these islands. Nothing costs anything. And you can also work on these islands with friends, which is really, really fun. You can, you know, terraform with friends. I think that's really, really fun and neat. And, you know, I was just complaining about the lack of mini games and fun features for multiplayer, but I do think that this is a fun multiplayer option. I've seen a lot of people make obstacle courses on, you know, with their own actual islands on Animal Crossing to make multiplayer more fun and enjoyable. And so these Slumber Islands, I think, can make, you know, obstacle courses or even like decorating contests just so much easier and approachable and more fun for people. All right, and then the last thing to really mention with this 3.0 update is just various items being added to the game. So like I mentioned with the hotel tickets in the Island Hotel, at the souvenir shop that Grams runs, you can buy a bunch of Nintendo items, which is really neat. You can buy the Game Boy or the NES, a Famicom, and Nintendo Switch 2. It's pretty cool. But you do need the Nintendo Switch Online membership to play the games that are on these consoles. Another thing that's been added into the game are Lego items, Zelda items, and Zelda amiibo functions, which is very similar to the Welcome Amiibo update, as well as Splatoon items and Splatoon amiibo functions. Again, we saw this with the Welcome Amiibo update as well. I'm excited about the Splatoon stuff. I think it's so cool to see Cece and Viche, 2 new characters that are based off of Shiver and Fry. I'm excited about them. Fry on my island, game changer. The Splatoon items are really what I'm most excited about, I think, specifically the hair. But yeah, overall, this update is very remnant of as I've been saying, the Welcome Amiibo update. It makes me think a lot about the Welcome Amiibo update, and it's overall just got me thinking all sorts of things when it comes to Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing's future. I think a lot of us were like, okay, you know, no Animal Crossing news for a while. This is exciting. This probably means a new Animal Crossing game on the Switch too. And the idea of that always felt kind of weird to me because I don't know. I know it's been so much time since New Horizons initially released, almost 6 years ago now, which is crazy. But it still kind of like just doesn't feel like it's time for a new Animal Crossing game. I don't know why I feel that way though. I think a part of me just like really wants, oh my God, these cats. Obviously, I would love for a new Animal Crossing game that caters more towards that classic Animal Crossing experience of just kind of like that life simulator vibe rather than like a decorating simulator. And I've talked about that a million times, but this update clearly doesn't really cater towards that. It absolutely caters towards decorating and the people who enjoy decorating, the decorating aspect of New Horizons, which I would say is a lot of people, if not maybe most people. And so that kind of leaves me here thinking like, man, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what the future of Animal Crossing looks like even a little bit. I have no idea how to feel, and I am so curious to see how you feel. I would love to hear your thoughts on this update and just how you feel about it and what you are hoping for or expecting or what you're predicting for the future of the franchise. Animal Crossing New Leaf originally released in 2012, and then we didn't get New Horizons until 2020. That was almost an 8-year gap. And right now we're looking at almost 6 years since Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. I couldn't tell you when I think we'll get a new Animal Crossing game. I would like to sit here and be like, I don't see one happening anytime soon. And then we get one like in 2 years or a year or something. But with a 3.0 update happening, I very much can see them just, I guess, possibly updating the game more. People really love this game. And so I guess I'm curious if people are more excited at the thought of a new Animal Crossing game, or them just reviving and continuing to update New Horizons. I am excited for this New Horizons update. I'm really, really curious to see how long it'll have me hooked into the game again. But if I had to guess, as somebody who is not really into the decorating aspect of the game, it's probably gonna get my attention for like maybe a month. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm just feeling very hopeful that we got any Animal Crossing news at all, and I'm very, very curious to see if the future holds more updates. I have no idea, but I'm very, very curious to hear your thoughts. Okay, so it's been a month now since I originally recorded this video, but I decided to wait a month. I just wanted to wait 1 month to see if we got any other trailers or any little bit of news before the 3.0 update actually comes out. I have given it a month and we have gotten really nothing. It is what it is. I just didn't want to post this video and then, you know, a brand new trailer would drop and then it's like, well, man, what the hell? If that happens with this, I'm gonna be so annoyed if I post this video and then later this week we get a little update, you know, another sneak peek 3.0 update trailer. I'm gonna be pissed. But that's the reason why this video is coming out a little bit later. I love theorizing about Animal Crossing. I find it so fascinating because I feel like the franchise and the series right now is just like so weird. It's never been bigger, and there are so many new fans in the series. And so I just find it really, really fascinating to talk to older fans and newer fans and compare the wants and the feelings and the opinions on the games. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on not only the future of the game, but also the 3.0 update. I want to talk about this so bad. I feel like we could have a really cool conversation here in the comments. The last thing I'll say is that I will absolutely be streaming the 3.0 update on Twitch and here on YouTube as well, and I'm excited about it. Anyway, that's why this video is a little late. Sorry that it took me a bit to record this and get it up. I just wanted to wait and see. Maybe we got another announcement. That's it from me. Let me know your thoughts on the 3.0 update. Thank you again to Heartopia for sponsoring this video, and I'll see y'all when the 3.0 update releases. And also, I post other videos, so I'll see you in the next video. Yeah.